Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Naren singing the last few lines of the song. It's a long song and a beautiful explanation of God, what He is. It's like Vedas. In our Hindu scriptures, there are two important sections in the scriptures. One is Vedas, that gives the reality, what God is, and the Tantras, Vedas and Tantras. Tantras are scriptures which describe, which we call technology in English, Tantra, technology. And Veda, with to know, knowledge, jnana. The Shruti and Smriti. This is eternal truth, unchanging eternal reality, what God is. It just tells what God is. And holding on to it, what are the results that you get? Phalashruti. That's all it says. And that you become immortal by knowing Him. You cross over the nature and go beyond. God is this, God is that, that's all. How to go beyond? How to utilize Him? All these are given by, just like science tells, petrol burns and every gram gives 100 calories of heat. This is all it says. How to extract it, where to search, how to find out there is the oil well, and how to utilize that petrol or petroleum to make a vehicle, to use it as a fuel. How to do it is taught by technology, science and technology, Vedas and Tantras, two important branches of scriptures. Under Vedas, all other divisions are there. In Tantras also, many types of divisions are there. So here we see God is what God is, it is describing. We may not be trying to understand how to reach it, but that aspect is there, fully and clearly mentioned. Bright with unspeakable beauty, the beauty. Now, beauty concept is very difficult to explain. It is a subjective experience. Each one finds beauty in somewhere, which we call, for normal man, which is not beautiful, may be beautiful to some other man. How the beauty concept changes. For a crow, the baby crow is so beautiful. It doesn't go to any other bird, you see. Each one loves beauty. Beauty and love are interrelated. Whatever is beautiful, we love. That's why I love. Beauty, you see a flower, beautiful. Scene, beautiful. Nature, beautiful. What we like also, we use the term beautiful. Coffee was beautiful, coffee they gave. Beautiful. It is not I finding the joy in it. Wherever joy is released, whatever we love, we use the term beauty there also. Beautiful person. He may be ugly to see, but His qualities are such. I met a beautiful person. His personality was such and such. Magnetic personality. Very kind-hearted. Maybe physically looking here, maybe, but inside is shining with beauty. Socrates prays and says, "O Lord, make me beautiful from within. Make me beautiful from within." That God, saints, and angels, all those who can see beyond the body, love. So, God to be beautiful is wherever you see anywhere beauty, you must be able to recognize it is God's beauty shining there. In that form, in that way, God's beauty is shining. Whatever attracts you, whatever you feel good and great, this is in Bhagavad Gita called the Vibhuti Yoga. Vibhuti Yoga is where will you find me? Wherever there is good and great, whichever attracts you, try to see me there. I am there. Later on you will see everywhere He alone is there. Once you recognize that, in beauty, once you recognize whatever attracts is beautiful for you. It may be character, it may be the nature, it may be whatever. Try to see God in that. And we create beauty. Just windows, vast windows for nature to participate inside. You can see in Hindus, almost all pictures of gods and goddesses. There is an animal. There is a beautiful river or something flowing, mountain in the background, trees and vegetation. All this form, beautiful form. It is to bring anything will attract you in that God, in that picture. For some people, everything will attract. For everyone, something or the other will attract. A person without any spiritual understanding, not knowing any spirituality or anything, suppose they come into the ashrama, you can see in their face something, great joy, and that face is filled with, beaming with some joy, unknown joy for themselves. They don't know what spirituality, nor they are interested in it. But the presence of divine which the others are honoring and preserving, just by bowing down to the shrine, just by thinking of God here and there, trying to evolve further, all these contribute for the clear understanding of what it is, how it is. That those vibrations transform them into a higher understanding. So that is most essential part of the life. Bright with unspeakable beauty, peerless, there is no comparison, anupama, there is no upama. Everything can be explained by giving an example of another thing. But this cannot be. There is nothing to compare. God is like God alone. You are like you alone. Nobody is there which can be compared and told. He is like sun, he is like moon. It cannot be compared. There is no comparison. He is peerless and without stain. There is no sattva, raja, tama or any kind of stain, karmic load or anything. Nothing exists in it. No words can ever describe Him. No words can describe Him. Because we cannot convey it to others. through words. Even simple things like love. What is love? We cannot convey. What is peace? We cannot convey. Taste, what we experience, cannot be conveyed. Experiences cannot be expressed. What do you express? How do you feel? Words are words only. They cannot be, even they are unable to experience that. What I experience, words cannot carry. So, God, which is unbound by time and space, there is neither time nor space. Here, there, nothing is there. There is no duality in God. So, I experience Him, I and God are not there. Being God, one realizes God. Not by, there is no duality. By the time he understands God with duality, I and you, God is there, I am here, it is still oneness. The absolute oneness has not been reached, and the absolute understanding of God has not been got. It is subject-object. Subject is understanding and experience the object. There is three triad, we call it triad, triputi, knower, known, and the knowing. Dhyata, dhyanam, dhyeya. Three are there. The three dissolve. The knower and known becomes one. There is no triad. Knowing, knower, and known, the three are not there. When these three are dissolving, I know God in essence and reality. We call nirvikalpa. There is no alternative for this experience. Now God, I am coming down from that plane to see God as an object. Already difference has come. I and God, seeing, I am experiencing. There may not be a second object other than I and God. I am experiencing. Experiencer is there, experienced is there, and experiencer is the experiencer, experienced, and experience. Triad has already formed. So, object-subject has come into picture. Subject is understanding the object as different from it. So, it is reality, but with a difference. Because I am seeing God, God is not Purna. I am also not Purna. A Purna God I am seeing because I exist as in that God. So God is shot by me. Whole thing is God, and I am experiencing it. I am standing separate from God. So God is shot by me. Leaving myself, I am considering God. When I become one with God, God is one, Purna. So in duality, we see apurnatva, but except God, nothing is there in object. Except me, nothing is there in subject. It is a reality with duality. And seer also is divine, the seen is also divine. So it is called achintya bheda bheda. Is there no bheda, but bheda is there. How two things opposite can be there? Bheda and abheda together, you cannot explain. Achintya. It is divine, understand, a ocean wants to experience itself. How I exist, how blissful I am, I want to know. It is bliss and bliss alone. It wants to experience. So, the ocean, except water, nothing is there. It is endless. One ocean, infinite ocean, eternal ocean. There is neither time and space. no differences. In that ocean wants to know, how blissful am I? How to know duality has to be created? How there is no its seamless existence. Suppose a part of it becomes ice. A part becomes ice. Now ice is floating in that water. The ice is not different from water, but distinct from water. This is distinction without difference. Now it is experience. Oh, so vast it is. It is experience. Water is experiencing water in different form. Now this is called achintya bheda bheda. You cannot explain how the one is experiencing itself, being separate from it. Is it separate? No. Is it same? No. It is bheda is there, abheda is there. As water there is abheda. But this is hard and that is fluid and this is solid. There is bheda is there. No, this is also water, that is also water. Now you see, achintya bheda bheda. This is just a rough example, too rough an example. To know itself, to enjoy itself, it becomes many, it becomes multiple, it becomes universes. It's ocean of bliss and bliss alone. So this difference, unspeakable, beautiful strain, no words can ever describe it. Describe him. Be as a beggar before his gate. What can you do? How to know? How to transcend this nature in whose prison house I am there? That Shankaracharya goes with his disciples to Mandan Mishra's house. The parrot will be there. One of them is speaking to the parrot, and Shankaracharya is debating with Mandan Mishra in a small episode that is brought out by film. And in that, he is speaking to parrot. It is seeing outside, vast space. And it has entered into a cage. And the argument is going on. It wants to he is giving one by one small grapes to it. It is eating one by one. It asks, do you want more? Do you find it joy? And slowly it turns it to the existence. Where is joy possible living in a cage? Do you see the infinite outside? Infinite bliss is there within you. Beyond also there is infinite bliss, but you are put in the cage. So you can never experience. You are seeing in front of you such beautiful vastness where all birds are freely flying. And you are doing here for the sake of one grape. The whole world is filled with so many items, so many things. Now, yes, I want to fly outside, I want to go. Then you are in the prison house. You put yourself in the prison. When will you get that freedom? So, then finally you opens its gate door. How it flies into the space, you see. So much freedom, so much joy. That is the scholastic existence of Jiva. It has entered into the realm of time and space. Prakriti is bound in the Prakriti. He thinks, he is within the prison, he is thinking, one day I will come out. One day I will fly. But some external help is needed because it is closed from outside. The door is there, but you cannot open it. Somebody has to come and open. This is what Sri Ramakrishna differentiates as shackles and bondage. Shackles are some self-imposed, ashtapashas, and bandhana cannot be released. Bandhana has to be released by one who has put inside. There you have to wait and pray. Open the door, open the door. Knock at the door, go on knocking at the door to open. Surrender. As long as ego is there, that answer, your prayers will not be carried to the right person. The surrender of ego, the longing within that destroys the tamas and rajas and peeps beyond. How much of intense activity and alertness everywhere. Everything. Who has come? Who has gone? What does anybody wants? Everything the mind is able to grasp at the look itself. Just it is alert. Who wants what? Who is hungry? Who is needing what? And not for show. From deep within, it has crossed the tamas. So that coming out of sattva raja tama, we are bound in every way, and we are trying to get that small baits put inside the prison house. I want little comfort, I want little joy, I don't want to work more. All these things limiting, they put on the limitations themselves. These limitations are to be broken and come out. Yes, I can achieve anything. I can do anything. I can build up anything. I can destroy anything. Kama, krodha and all that. I can fly over freely. That self-confidence, the faith in one's own self, faith in God, all that has to be developed. And this is, and wait for God's grace. Because you are within the prison house. Lord, open my door, open my door. So the nature, Mother Nature, Prakriti is having the key to open the door. God has handed over to her. That's why Sri Ramakrishna brings the worship of Divine Mother. God as Divine Mother. He advocates, call on her. By no means you can reach God. Only thing is love and surrender. All scriptures may be in your tongue. You will not. The all Upanishads, this, that, everything you are master of that. Anything you ask is there in your tongue. It comes out. But you cannot reach God with that knowledge. That is bookish knowledge. Shankaracharya writes, Shrutinam agamye. Shrutinam agamye. You are unreachable by knowing the whole scripture. Shruti Smriti. Whole Shrutis are, you know. She is agamye. You cannot be reached through. Vedas is nothing, only love of God and surrender of ego. Love of God and surrender of ego. Surrender of ego is what releases us from the bonds. It is like lifting the anchor. Anchor is lifted, now the boat can move. Other is moving forward. Love is what it takes you further. The rowing, the boat. The rowing pads are called love. Love takes you further. So one is to release from the bondage. one is to move forward. So here we see Vishnu that here beautifully in that song he says, be like a beggar going on praying, open the door. I have tried all means to call, to reach you, not able to. Wherever I go, there is barricade that I am not able to cross. Be a beggar, as a beggar before his gate, waiting for him to open the door. Day and night, one thought, that is the watchword. I want you, I want you. Release me from all this. At gate, and worship him day and night. Worship is not ritualistic worship. Worship is how do you do? It is something like paravidya. It is like knowing that oneness with God. Sharing. Worship is where I give something to God. Worship is beginning with giving senses to God. Actually, ritualistic worship, what we call worship puja, is where I am offering my senses to God. To offer the senses, what is behind it is also to be offered. Behind it stands the manas, to receive its sense. Then mind is given to God. Slowly we move from ritualistic worship to constant repetition of mantra, from puja to japa. And behind the mind stands the buddhi. I have to surrender the buddhi also in constant remembering of God. Rupa dhyana, lila dhyana, guna dhyana, all these, whatever way you can think of God, God's great qualities, God's various forms, all this going on. Now I am offering my intellect, buddhi, what all instruments I have offered. Now, last I offer myself. Mam madhyancha sakalam Sri Ramakrishna Charane Samarpaye. I offer myself. This last offering, the ego is the only thing that was holding on to all that exists. That offering, self-offering, is the last thing in which the enlightenment comes. That worship in which you offer yourself as an oblation into the great Lord. And worship in day and night, that is the worship. Beseeching Him for His grace, then the enlightenment comes. With this, we end the songs being sung by Naren. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.